Welcome back to Sabodi's Showdown. It's me, Jake, and I've hijacked Gonzo's place with Mary TCG here,
Hello
who
guys,
I've
I'm
not
back
seen,
again.
who I've not seen since he absolutely annihilated me in our top 4 game on stream. But it's so good to be on call with you again.
Yeah, it's great catching up again, and hopefully we'll see some interesting Rayleigh gameplay today.
Yes, we've got a bit of a fun one. We've got Rayleigh for OP12 versus PB Luffy, which my sole knowledge of PB Luffy pretty much comes down to Crowzer himself.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list, and it's very interesting. Not sure. I'm actually not quite sure how this deck will do against Rayleigh, but initially I would like to think that Rayleigh is heavily favored in this matchup.
I was thinking that. However, I was sort of looking at the list. I'm thinking we've got like some interesting cards like Hell's Judgment. Initially, I thought would just be the Green Zoro tech card, but Hell's
Yeah,
Judgment seems like it could be very good against Rayleigh in this matchup.
and we have the new Nico Robin.
That's another card I
It's
was
a
keeping an eye on.
Rayleigh does tend to have quite a big hand. Um,
Like,
so but it'll be interesting to see if you can track every card in Rayleigh's hand, because usually you do know every card that's in Rayleigh's
yeah,
hand.
you get a lot of information from their hand. I'm wondering if, whilst Sebi will get to choose what he discards, whether it will disrupt him enough to keep those 2 events in hand at all time.
Yeah, let's see if is there any interesting events that he is playing.
He is
Um,
running the King Kong Gatling, which
yeah,
I hadn't
King
seen
Kong
before.
Gatling. Yeah, Gatling is pretty standard in the East. I'm not a big fan of this card in this deck at 2, but a lot of lists are running it, and I'm not the best aggro player in the world. Um, and Divine Departure is quite weird as well.
It is just a
Uh,
one-off though, but I guess it can. There are a lot of scary, random 5-costish targets which it can hit.
yeah, I think it's maybe in here to kill the promo buggy.
Yes, that could be the concern.
We're playing two of the Brook 2K, which is not quite standard. Usually, you just see all four Sanjis.
Yeah, but I do wonder if how that will work. Because I do think that Sanji is a great card to deal with, sort of being starved.
Yeah, a lot of decks will just opt to not swing at Rayleigh. Um,
It's
one
more
note,
of a case of survive until you win.
yeah, Purple Black actually doesn't have that many issues dealing with the one cost buggy, which could be very good.
Oni does see his lovely ramp on curve here.
Yeah, best freedom play in the game. It's just such an insane card in this deck.
it's this deck is always very amusing with how much Don it's flipping everywhere.
Yeah, can we curve out into a beer Luffy? Is the question.
Beer Luffy will be a very, very strong. I mean, it's absolutely key for purple black in general, but especially in these aggro matchups.
I'm afraid it's going to be beer Luffy no effect on this
Yeah,
turn,
I
which
mean, he could just be sticking like a Robin or something instead.
yeah, not going to have too much trouble as really did miss the board on turn completely.
We're just building up a very wide board here.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being able to play that 4 cost Luffy on curve than not.
We do know we've got it in hand now. We're revealing King Kong Gatling, and I
And then
believe
Armament.
that's Armament
Yeah.
being the easy one to spot because because it has blue in it.
Yeah, two blue boxes in the text.
That's the key way of spotting it. I do feel sorry for this elephant.
Yeah. It's sad
Yeah,
that the boa cannot actually use its effect to give 2 rested on anywhere to be useful.
Yes, that is unfortunate. It will probably just end up
What is this?
getting killed off.
Who? Oh, Kick Killer.
With Boa here.
I'm wondering what that proxy was on screen.
Actually catch it. If anyone in chat caught what proxy that was, please let us know.
We have a lot of cards in hand. 8 in hand, 9 in hand now.
It's insane.
Oh, speed
Oh,
there it is.
I was warned that there was some fun proxies in this. But hey, we've got his really good little graphics. Oh no, even a discarded proxy.
Oh, maybe thinking about discarding something else. That Robin is a blocker, right? On play. If your opponent has 6 or
Yes,
more
it
cards
is.
in hand, make them discard 2. But Sebi does get the pick.
Yeah. Having a 7k blocker out early is so good. Especially when we'll be becoming a 7k leader after his turn now.
Yeah, the only reason I know what that card does is because I got destroyed by that card on Locos yesterday.
Yep, I have to say when they suddenly revealed Robin and Dragon together, I was very scared of the state of the game.
Yeah, had to play against Koala yesterday. Not the funnest time in the world.
No, that is. Oof, that deck does seem to auto kill some decks.
Yeah, and it definitely auto killed mine.
Were you on UP still?
No, post ban list. Coming up to this fun locals playing my pet deck. That heals a lot.
Oh,
And
you're back to
unfortunately, every time I play something to heal something, you don't get to heal. It just draws a card instead. It was not fun.
switch from blue purple and now back to yellow and now.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons I was playing blue purple. It just plays so much like an L. Yeah. Well, it can play so much like an L if you want to.
So we do see this very, very good Luffy getting dropped now.
We can swing 2 5s. Can we? We can't. We can't. Right?
I believe so.
We can. We can if we want to commit the Gatling. Um, I do kind of just like going 7 here
It
with
depends
the
how
2
much we
done.
want to get the pressure down because we do know now that Oni is going to be going, most likely going up to a 7k leader next turn. Just going to take the free block.
Buggy.
We're just going to dig even deeper and build that board up.
Maybe find a Mogun. Nope, that is a Conqueror's Hacky.
Really not too much crazy use here, but it's always a good card. Yeah, I was going to say, if this wasn't a beer Luffy, I think this would have just be over.
Yeah, this card is
Does
defines the matchup a lot, right? If we do just have a Mogun for it, it does feel very rough.
I do feel it defines purple black Luffy in
Yeah,
general. Yeah.
I don't actually like the idea of swinging against Rayleigh as purple black. I think you just kind of hit the board and not give them resources. The deck really as a deck does have a lot of consistency issues despite running like upwards of 12 searchers.
Well, I guess there is always potentially a off angle to try and force a lethal with rush Luffy out of nowhere, especially because we're getting down to if we do decide to swing, he could be getting down to this 2 life kind of threshold.
Get rid of the Diablo Jambe for the archetype. Other
Yeah,
hand, I think he's on 3 copies. Yeah,
it's,
3 copies. So
I'm
he must
wondering if
have
he
another
does
one.
have another one because
Yeah, I
we
mean,
still
you
do
gotta
have
have
this
another
Robin
one
up.
if you're gonna discard it out of your hand, because that Robin is never gonna swing.
No, and especially when you're facing a
Never mind, it's
very
gonna
wide.
swing.
Oh, it- we are going into life there, so I do feel like
There's no
we
actual
are.
point in swinging to the little searchers at this stage in the game because we're 7K.
It's just too
Maybe
much
he's
commitment.
yeah, he's maybe fishing for the 2 turn lethal. Um, which
But it's interesting
if
to.
Rayleigh just keeps 2 down up for double conquerors, you can never find game on board.
It's, especially because this doesn't look like the most offensive board from on it either.
Yeah, with no Dawn investment, that Sanji is swinging at you for 8, which we have the Mogon in hand.
Actually, we're even going to be seeing a Molgon on this Robin.
Oh, we're gonna swing at the rest of Zoro.
There does seem to be some concern about surviving, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we could just kill the beer Luffy, right?
yeah, that would.
So 1 attached on so far. So
Yeah,
the Luffy needs 1 more attached on to boost itself into 6K.
but I'm sure that touchdown will be coming very soon. There we go.
Um, another 7 out lead.
Just poking Ollie down for probably try to set up for a lethal next turn then. God, Rayleigh's hand is still so large.
If he doesn't end up swinging the 7 with the 2 down and just 2 down active, I think Purple Black is going to be in a very very tough situation.
I'm trying to think what even would allow Ollie to survive another turn here if he was trying to survive another turn. Potentially, if he has another Beer Luffy plus like a Hell's Judgment in hand, with of course the favorite card Gum Gum Giant. There's a
Yeah,
possible angle.
yeah. I mean, you can't take this because next turn, presumably there's a unblockable in the hand. There's a armament, and there's a Gatling. So with the Gatling and armament, that's a free 3K power right there.
We are seeing the second Beer Luffy. We are probably going to try and survive this turn. We'll see what Oni can do for the rest of his Don to try and stay alive here. Another thing is, it does look very dire for him to even be able to clear some of these characters now.
I mean, I don't hate swinging that life, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like taking out a character or two just doesn't change anything. We are going to see the drop here. Uh, not too
the
sure whether
Conquerors, yeah,
not too sure where
and the
that
one
swing's
K.
aimed, but I guess the Conquerors covers it.
Yeah, we must have been swinging out life, or else we wouldn't need the 1K. So he is swinging out life. Robin now swinging for 7 at somewhere at life again.
There we have it, the second conqueror. While we do know Sebi has the uh, one Diablo Jumbo in hand, or theorized Diablo Jumbo in hand, I do wonder if he would maybe wants to keep that blocker up.
Yeah, so one is the Diablo Jambe, and the Galleon armament still in hand, and one unknown. Or maybe we know it and we just forgot, but
That's very
presumably,
possible. With,
presumably unknown.
with the amount of searches happening from this board. So we are going to see a lightning here.
Yep.
This does take
Forces
out
Rayleigh
the
to go for game
defensive
this turn.
power a little bit. I guess it depends on what we've got in the Rayleigh hand here. Honestly, if they had more of armament, I wouldn't even hate it. But I suppose if they do have a Jambe and the King Kong Catling, then that is a lot of cards not to be counter cards.
Yep. One observation, just a free search of the top 4, touching one down to Silver Rayleigh.
We do love free real estate in this deck.
Yeah, every card in this deck just draws you a card. It's so insane.
That was the
Another
Mulgun.
Mulgun.
Maybe it could be a Mulgun on a Luffy and just surviving another turn. But I do think that could be a bit risky in terms of Rush Luffy always being
Yeah, the
such
email
a
to
powerful
Rush
card.
Luffy. You'd have to have another 2 Conquerors in hand at least if you're going to go down this path.
Yeah, that way looks like we are committing.
He's not used leader effect yet. I don't think. So that is only a 9. Are we planning to swing with the buggy as well? Perhaps.
One done up in purple Luffy. We pretty safely assume that we've probably got the giant here.
Yeah, I feel like we got punished there for not using leader effect to buff the Sanji.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're playing it
Oh, we
safe.
are. We are
Four in
leaving.
hand.
We are
Four in hand,
leaving
2
two
bricks.
done up.
Yeah, but the other 2 cards in his hand are bricks.
Yeah, which does seem, especially it feels especially scary. Seeing as Oni could swing for with his current board first to bait out the Conquerors and then play the Luffy to dodge the effect.
Can we maybe start with an 8 with the Robin? Just to kind of see.
That would be a very good test number.
Yeah, force out both of the Conquerors if it is 2 Conquerors. Third Conquerors. That card is such an insane card.
I managed to pull 2 copies for my pre-release yesterday, and it felt incredible in that format.
Yeah,
Ooh, so we're going to be searching here. So maybe we don't actually have the Rush Luffy. I do wonder if need to figure out the numbers because we actually have two rush targets for Oni right now. We've got the rush Luffy and the rush Sanji. Obviously, the rush Luffy would be much preferred, but I wonder if a rush Sanji could get the job done here.
Yeah, I feel like if you have Rush Luffy, it's probably just swing five with lead, like with one Don attached.
Yeah, just there's another brick in there, so you can always chance it.
Yeah, you know he has bricks in that. He's been flashing it all game with the leader effect. So yeah, that is one thing about the Rayleigh leader. Um, your hand is a lot of your hand is public knowledge due to the amount of searches you play, and that you have to reveal. Even sometimes you have to reveal stuff that you can't search if you have to search for the four cost Luffy and the three cost Sanji.
It makes the deck feel or have a nice sort of counterplay element to it, rewarding players for keeping track of their hand.
Yeah, and here's a market watch stat. Uh, EBO1 Kid Killer and OPO1 two cost Sanji 2K are £5 each, and they're both rares.
I need to be diving into bulk after this game. So we are just going to leave a ton of Donna active here.
That's with four Don up.
So, what combination of giants and Hell's Judgments will this be? We'll have to find out. Or it could just be a complete Hail Mary bluff and hoping to like draw into them with giants. So we are going to be committing this Gatling now. So we are just going for it.
Gatling doesn't actually get the extra +1. It only gives the +3 at the moment. Um, you need your opponent needs to have a EK or more on field for it to give
Is it an
+3 and
8K or is
+1.
it a 7K?
I think it's an 8K,
Let me quickly look this up. It's a 7K. It's
7K, so it does get the extra +1. Discarding a 2K.
that that is
That's never a good sign.
unless he's only got 2Ks in hand. Trying to see actually how many cards Oni actually has left. Um, Certainly not many.
Diablo Jam, mate. I wonder what we're searching for here. A divine
Yeah,
departure for the Robin, maybe?
but the Robin's not even active.
Yeah. Yeah, you're dead on board if you don't win this turn. Because the Rayleigh deck doesn't actually play any blockers. Um, which is pretty standard for that deck.
It's a bit of a crazy deck. There's no blockers in the Rayleigh strategy. It is all gas, no breaks.
Hell's Judgment.
Up.
Yep. Minus it down to 6 and 2K. And safe. So maybe minusing leader as well. So 3K leader now.
Very rough odds here.
Boa. To try to search for an armament, maybe, so we can swing 7 with lead with the bow effect.
That is the beauty of some of these cards. A lot of them are actually free.
And he finds, I think that's an observation. Yep. and now the armament, but we don't have a Dawn for the armament.
We are just gonna
6A swing in the lead for you.
hey, and yeah, sort of telegraphed by discarding a 2K earlier. Yeah, that was. I think that's another 2K Sanjis in hand as well.
Yeah, it is a very slow start for the Rayleigh, not having the forecast Luffy on curve.
That does seem to
Um,
be a huge make or break point for the deck.
so hopefully we do see the forecast Sanji. Sorry, forecast Luffy. I don't actually hate playing the 2 cost Sanji out in this matchup specifically. Just it does take a life, but it does force the purple black to have to swing into board.
I think taking that first life is always lovely. Just getting that hand size up
Yeah,
and the amount of pressure that Sanji puts on, especially to a 4 life leader. I do think Hell's Judgment is absolute great metacal right now for this deck.
yeah, it just stomps the Green's world leader, right?
Uh, and
Against
it's
Rayleigh, I feel like maybe we could have tried to go for game if we just didn't swing at the buggy and we just went all in.
yes, I definitely think there was more opportunities to go aggressive.
But now that he knows Hell Judgment is in the list, maybe Sebi will try to approach it a bit differently and try to play around it.
It is certainly a card which uh, requires you to play. Well, it can certainly punish you for not playing around it optimally. I don't
I
actually
can
know
see
who.
that the oh, go for it.
I don't actually know who picked first or second last time. Mm, I'm not
Both
100
decks
sure.
kind of want to be going second. Really is a little bit more consistent going first, but the deck is so much more powerful going second.
I guess seeing that you've got so many sort of one drops to drop double one drop into Luffy.
Yeah, hopefully Sebi can see maybe some of his Zoros or Kid Killers
Yes, we
this
didn't
game.
actually see any rush bodies getting dropped.
Yeah, I'm not sure what like the standard. He's playing 2 and 2 of each, which
Yes, he.
which I think is pretty close to standard. I think you see a lot of 2 and 3s or like even 2 and 1s.
I believe the championship list was on 2 and 2.
2 and 2. Yeah, the Zoro just doesn't feel as good as Kid Killer, but Nami sometimes just misses searches, and it just feels like the end of the world when that happens.
Kid Killer is certainly the more high volley option. I guess the Zoro has slightly more window to be played against 5 life leaders.
Yeah, is OP12 legal for Berlin this
I
weekend?
believe they're still stuck in the past, and it'll
So
be
the
the
last
last of
one of
OP11.
OP11. So after getting ready, what's your prediction for this weekend?
Oh, that is an interesting one because the meta did seem to be like even evolving in Manchester. There seemed to be a
Yeah,
very high amount of buggies actually in Manchester, which I was not not expecting. So,
Yeah,
which kind of
I think.
it counter
Oh,
out tease.
the buggy had missed. Oh
What?
no!
How
There's a
does
disaster.
how does Buggy whiff in this list?
Yeah, just so many search engines in Rayleigh that it does miss sometimes. But back to what we were saying. You think Buggy will take this one down?
I'm not sure if it'll take it, but I definitely saw a trend in its representation.
Yeah. I think I said earlier, it's like in Manchester, something really interesting happened where all the Bello Betties just lost super early, and there was just
Yeah,
basically no Bello Betties except for all like the really, really good players at top tables.
but it certainly did to be lacking. I was actually surprised by how many eventually did make it into Top Cut because I was looking down the tables and I did not think I saw that many.
Yeah, only 5 out of 32.
But then that was technically the second most represented deck for that event.
Yeah, tied with Buggy, right? So it was 10-5-5. And a bunch of ones and twos offs.
I do kind of hope one of the one or two of decks do take it, just as a fun last event.
We did trigger a one cause of it, choosing not to take the Nico Robin blocker.
It's interesting because I think that Nico Volume Blocker is pretty strong in this matchup.
We revealed we do have the Divine Departure in hand. No, we revealed the Divine Departure and the Jambe.
Now, I'm gonna have to remind myself of what attributes some of these cards are now, which is always fun. Is the Searcher Law a special or slashing?
The law should be slash, right?
One Piece TCG does not always play by the rules. Uh, it is a slash.
Yeah, it would be quite strange for a law card to be a special card, but you never know. Sometimes I wish some of the green laws were specials so that Perona cannot search it.
That would make for some fun deck building.
Buggy not missing this time. We have 3 known cards in hand. Do we have a Luffy?
Say if we whiff one buggy, but surely can't whiff a second one with the amount of non-event cards we put to the bottom.
Now we just need to find the 4 cards Luffy this turn.
It does look like he's
We do
not
not have
playing it.
it. Oh no. That's not good. Yeah, the buggy is not buggy. The Luffy is just so insane, right? Like you're playing out the Sanji and you're getting a Dom Max, so essentially you just gain a 6k body for free that you can buff with leader effect.
It just
Not
does a
having that.
lot for the deck.
I almost would have liked to play like a Zoro this turn, just to rush 5 into the
Yeah,
into Luffy.
although I guess the Sanjis do kind of dig deeper, but this is going to be now. Well, only is only on one life. We've now established the 7K leader. This is going to be a bit of an uphill battle now.
We do have a divine departure for this. Um, so hopefully Purple Black doesn't win the second one, so he can take us to game 3.
I think the only problem with the Divine Depart is it is very expensive. So
Yeah, for 6 Dom.
you're not going to be able to develop that four-cost Luffy if you do play it.
Yeah,
And if
and we are 7k, so we can't really swing very big if we divine departure it.
it is a turn pass, and if
Yeah,
you turn pass into a second copy of Beer Luffy, that would be very devastating.
but I think the problem is if that beer Luffy gets a
Oh,
stick of
the
turn, I
value
think we
is
just
incredible.
lose. We have finally found it. So that means the beer Luffy will stick another turn into our third copy of Sanji.
God.
And we can go. We're gonna swing with Buggy this turn? Yeah.
Because
Putting it
if
on
we
Buggy doesn't
swings,
sound right.
it just dies and you don't get much value.
6k into the Zoro Juro. We're swinging the board.
That's interesting. He must have big plans for this remaining 3 Don if we're going to be going for
Yeah, we
Zoroark.
could have swung. We could have swung 8-9 into lead this turn. But I guess swinging into Zoro Juro is better. So especially if he lets it go now, we can go very big in the lead if we feel like it. Um, Also opens the option of swing with Buggy into the Zoro Juro as well.
Kind of interesting encountering with the Sanji here because I thought the Sanji could be quite good to just
Play
play
next turn.
next turn to clear the Luffy.
Yeah, maybe he's looking for like a more Frankie angle, 4 cost blocker, or establishing the Nico Robin to maybe try to get some counters out of Sebi's hand and make him discard 2.
One element of Rayleigh I didn't kind of anticipate when the deck was first revealed was making sure you're revealing the same cards over and over again to
Yeah,
limit the knowledge you're.
yeah, he has been quite persistent. He's revealed the Divine Departure,
Yeah,
a lovely manga rare event
I
every
was gonna
time.
say this is just the chance to flex.
Yeah, it's the only event with some sort of rarity where the rest of them are all commons and rares. This is a very low rarity deck.
I guess we now have. I guess it's the only one which can be played in this deck. We are getting more of these special event rares.
And I would like to point out how much nicer the all art for that 4 cost Luffy is compared to the normal art. The normal art is a lot worse, let's say, than the alt, especially for this card.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a sucker for the tilted head pose.
It reminds me of the EBO2 alt art green purple Luffy leader a little bit.
God, yeah, you're trying to get a min rarity player to remember alt arts now. This is actually quite a scary board for Rayleigh to have. I mean, the 7K leader is annoying, but these are some of the bigger bodies it can turn out.
Yeah, all the characters except the searchers on Sebi's board with 1 Dawn attachment can just swing for 7. And on board right now, there's 3 cards out of odds hands.
Yeah, Purple Black doesn't really have much in the way of card generation, so that can be quite devastating in the long term.
We can see there's a 3 cost Zoro, which is a brick in his hand. Oh, yep, he's gonna play it out. Dawn -1 to ramp him back. And then 6 Dawn for Nico Robin, perhaps?
We did see him not take the Nico Robin earlier, so he could be having the second one in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nico Robin effect only activates when your opponent has 6 or more cards in hand, I believe.
5. It's quite
5?
crazy.
That is an insane card.
It's very it's very hard to play around without griefing.
Yeah.
Oh, but
There's
there
the
we
Nico
go.
Robin. Rip 2 cards and develop a blocker.
And a good status blocker at that.
Yeah, 7k 9 cost blocker.
Big shout out to Jack for our little edit of Robin here. Oni is once again with his infamous proxies. Or I guess an SR from the new set is a bit more forgivable than his very famous Ripper proxies from last set.
So what's the most outrageous thing that's been proxied then?
It was definitely the one cost Rippers.
One cost rip. What card is that?
The black navy blocker for Kobe.
Oh, oh, the common, right?
Yep.
Common or rare, yeah. I think we are taking a while to think here. I think there's 6 cards on hand, 5 or 6, with one done up. Are we perhaps maybe going to divine departure one of the bodies?
Yeah, I really wouldn't hate just trying to clear that via Luffy. That is just so much value every turn.
It's going to be a 9k swing first, with 3 gold dons attached.
Interesting
Yeah,
anything about
I
taking this.
don't I don't think we can take where we're potentially just dead next turn. Next turn to the Gatling that's in hand.
It's certainly not a deck I want to go down to. I was gonna say
Oh, we don't. Okay.
if there is was the giant here, this is fairly decent value for giant, I guess. I mean, because the rest of the swings are probably just gonna be pokes.
Yeah, if he takes this, it's gonna be rough. But if he
And
doesn't
the
counter it, Sebi can't really divine departure this turn. But we do have a Mogon in hand.
big problem with going down to zero life is you can't even say if they have the Diablo John May. They've just got so many ways to cycle through that deck to find that. It's,
And we
okay,
take
so
down
we
to
do
0.
see. So we are just getting rid of a bit of Luffy. I was curious what we were going to do this turn because did have a lot of Don there and not really much space on board.
Yeah. If one doesn't have a second Spear Luffy, I
Oh,
think the writing might be on the wall.
that would be killer. I actually wouldn't have hated just not even just going for a big swing there because against no Don up, it,
Yeah.
I need to refresh my memory of how much on his hand size is right now.
Ooh, last term we were on 5 or 6. We gianted
Yeah,
with
I was
electric
thinking
cards.
we
We
were
should be
still
on
around there.
7 or 8. 7 or 8 maybe. Please don't swing 5. We're gonna run into a Conqueror's Haki if we swing 5.
I'm just looking at how on his posturing is done here, and
Mm.
it's looking like it could be a beer Luffy plus something. So he may not actually have leftover Don to swing more. Oh, we do get the Sanji
Oh,
here.
we let it go.
That's surprising with that many cards in hand from Sebi. At the end of the day, that is a very big swinger in this deck.
Yeah, no Dawn investments, fully for 8.
Certainly is a very powerful card.
Beer Luffy's gonna come down, and we're gonna have 3 Dawn up. A Hell's Judgment and a Gum Gum Giant.
That would be the dream. Oh, well, it looks like we're just gonna be swinging.
Yeah, one scary thing about this Rayleigh deck is that if there's not enough pressure on the board, he can just use one unblockable this turn and one the next, and then just kill you.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
not.
don't know. I don't know how I feel about not keeping more Dawn up.
Yeah, like he's keeping one done up, so we can assume the GGG. But there's always the thing of it. If you keep 3 done up, you may draw into the Hell's Judgment.
The Robin has swung. We can just dish the Divine Departure. We do have a Galley in hand. And only one Dawn up, so there won't be Hell's Judgment. We can go for 2 big swings for lethal here.
It's pretty nice position to be in.
Yeah. Will Sebi take it to a game 3?
The thing is, if he does even have Conqueror's Happy's up, we may not even need to go for lethal here if he's got the Conqueror Happy Khakis in hand.
Yeah, we can. Like, he can go for a game and just have like 2 Dawn up, right? We still know there's still a Divine Departure in hand, unless
We
he's
just
used it
revealed
already.
2 elephants.
Which ones exactly? We'll never know.
That was the problem. It was a quick reveal.
Yeah, you just from watching it, you really gotta just look at the text box to see if there is a blue square, is it a red square?
Especially where one covered the other one. It was a bit like, where are we?
Oh, we're just going all in here. Right. Can we get the Miracle Gum Gum Giant?
Gonna get a double 2K off of here.
2K.
2K.
2K. Oh my, so many 2Ks.
Gosh. Is that another
Another
Sanji?
2K. Oh my, that's another one in hand.
Wow.
And safe.
It's pretty impressive as well because normally you think Purple Black needs to have played their like Frankies to have this level of 2Ks left in there.
Yeah, we just
And
we just hard drew them all.
and unfortunately Sebi did reveal double brick events now. So it's gonna make lethal maps very scary on the clapback.
I feel like we're still fine, depending on what elephant event it is. They could 2 2Ks.
Don't have any Don left. Well, I guess Conqueror's Haki can be used as a 2K in hand without
Yeah,
giving the -1.
yeah, and that's the fantastic thing about that card. It's just so much
It's just a
utility in the one
2K
card. Yeah,
at worst. Interesting thing is, here we've swung the 5K at Rayleigh, Rayleigh
with
at
the
the
Zoro
Zoro,
last.
and it seems like we don't have a 1K.
Yeah, so
Either
just
that,
about getting out of the Luffy swing.
still think there's a lot of danger here if there's the rush we stand Luffy. Nope, we are just going to be blocking out.
Frankie discarding a Nico Robin. Sebi's just really going to be really hoping for a Diablo Jambe next turn.
Now, I'm wondering how much. So obviously we're going to probably try and clear this Luffy. I'm wondering if Oni does take any additional life off of Sebi, or whether we're going to try and starve to try and deny that Diablo Jumbe event.
Law. Important Law cannot search for Gum Gum Giant. So if one has the giant in hand, I could see him just sending the board. I'm just sending it. But with no giant, it's a little more risky.
You know we've just drawn 2 fresh new cards off of Frankie, which
And search the search the Robin. Yeah. I'm gonna lose our Luffy this turn, which is a little unfortunate.
yeah.
That's the only one he's drawn this game, right?
Yeah, he has had a very big drought of them.
Yeah, it's a bit of a low roll in both of these games.
Just contemplating swinging this Robin. I low-key wouldn't hate keeping it up just because we do have rush cards which can, well, abuse you. Like, the Kid Killer is live.
Yeah. Does have the blocker Frankie, which maybe he thinks is fine. Kick Killer rushing, which we are 7K base, so Kick Killer rushing for 7 is not the biggest deal in the world.
No, but and then, of course the Kid
Observation.
Killer not being able to be used on
We are
the
fishing for the event.
5K base body.
Observation, picking up another observation.
We are gonna keep going until we find it.
Can we find the Kid Killer, Zoro, or an unblockable? That's the Gatling. A free
Still
2K
not
power.
quite what we want. I know we.
It's good if you already have the Jambe in hand. I love how we're just calling it Diablo Jambe because we don't actually know what the card's called.
I mean, I think as card game players, we always shorten them. As soon as we get one searcher, they're often always based off of it.
Double
Uh,
armament.
to never doubt, that is power. They don't make these event names very easy to remember.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh, so we are just gonna mulligan this, and are we just gonna mulligan this and try and swing big?
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the Dawn for both of the armaments, but I think ON can counter out with a 2K 1K here.
Well, I'm wondering if there's going to be the Hell's Judgment as well.
Yeah, it's just disastrous if it's the Hell's Judgment, especially because we've already committed the Dawn to Buggy.
Any event here is going to be game.
Oh, it's a disaster.
And there it is. I wonder if that was drawn off of a Frankie. That is
And then we can
big.
go 9. Just plus 1, 2, 9. Into 2 breaks. So we are going to go to game 3.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, very, very close game.
I did think Oni was going to take that there.
Yeah, unfortunately, top deck's a giant. Frankie just drew one too many bricks there. Which he was actually fine if we just didn't swing with a Nico Robin that turn.
Yeah, I was. I did think that Robin was a bit greedy.
Yeah, must be in hindsight, must be kicking himself.
Especially because it also does give the opportunity to draw into that extra
Extra giant.
Jambe. See, I
Yeah,
even said the event name not less than 2 minutes ago, and I've already forgotten
do you want me to?
it.
For this last one, let's just call it Perfume Fever.
Oh, that does spice it up. I did used to run a bit of Duffy, so that does make me a bit happy.
Really opting to keep.
Now, I would be very curious how this matchup works on the opposite curve.
Yeah. Presuming that Purple Black chose to go first. But honestly, I think the Rayleigh curve going second feels so much nicer.
Although it has been a shame that we've not seen that four-cost Luffy on curve.
Yeah. The Rayleigh deck is feels kind of like Green Purple Leafy. It's really like feast or famine. You know, if you don't see the one card your deck is revolved around,
I think,
unfortunately, it's just
yeah,
a lot
well,
weaker.
very similar to that. I do think it has a little bit more going for it, but it can just unga bunga its way out of some of those situations.
Yeah, this deck's also a lot
But
more
it's definitely
consistent than Green
similarities.
Purple Leafy. You have a lot more searchers than GP.
uh, which is wild because GP was running a lot. We've got the at least 4 Namis at the 4 search events plus random stuff like stage. Uh, yeah, with every deck, every card in Rayleigh seems to replace itself in some way.
Yeah, every searcher, every body that you're swinging with is a searcher, whether it's a Sanji, or it's just a free body that you get in the form of the Luffy.
I've got the
Mm.
4 like
Even the
bodies like Nami, Buggy, uh, Shuyaku, and Boa. Even the Sanji replaces itself.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a Boa came out last game.
We didn't
Or
see
is
any Boas last game.
another card that's just extremely powerful. And we're gonna
We're
find
gonna
a
see
armament.
Sebi on going second, and we are gonna see this beautiful double drop, double one drop.
Can we find a Luffy off the top here? and we don't
Good.
searches for any red event or Monkey D. Luffy. But this time it would be no Luffy in sight.
Have added perfume FEMA here.
Again, Zoro's curve. On's not missed a single Zoro's curve. It's kind of crazy.
Love to see it. And then we are going to utilize these dons. He's just got active here. And there it is. The card you need to see.
Yeah, such a good card out of the structure deck. But hopefully Sebi has found the Luffy. Looks like we have.
We've swung 5, so that's a promising sign.
Hatched onto Buggy.
We're revealing the 2 cards, which we already know. Very good. And there we go. We've seen it.
Found one on curve. Do we have the Sanji to go with it? Ah,
Not quite
well,
the
not bad.
Sanji, but
Not bad.
Boa is very nice.
And the second Luffy.
Oh, we are set up. We are going to get these early little pokes in.
Yeah, with one non-investment, the searchers being able to just swing for 5 or 6 is just so insane.
Buggy can cause havoc to certain decks. I'm going to see a second ramp.
He didn't actually use the leader ability. He only done -1. So I think there's a lightning coming for Luffy.
Lightning on the Luffy would be pretty big at controlling the board here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time we find a Luffy on curve,
And
removed straight
it
away.
fires on curve. That feels like a very nice turn from Oni to regain control of the board.
If Sebi finds a target to play off the Luffy, we're looking at a very strong turn. Leader effect can buff the Boa, and then Boa just gives 2 free rests at Dawn for some reason. And without any Dawn investment, if you play the Luffy, we can go 5/5/5 with both searchers on field.
Definitely feel those low but wide swings to tax on his hand is the way to go before he hits a 7k leader.
Yeah, you really want to be forcing Black Purple to counter before the beer Luffy comes on.
Yeah.
We're just gonna let that go.
It could be quite good to just preserve hand, but we are been if it's we should still have enough swings to take out the board on the clapback. So I guess it's not going to be missed too much.
Yeah. And we have the dream, right? Luffy Sanji.
Immediately, the board state feels flipped again. If you can dump some 1-cost searches down here as well to build up a nice wide swing.
A
Although I
second
guess
Boa
we
here.
are expecting a Beer Luffy next turn, so the 1-cost searches do immediately lose a lot of value.
Yeah, a second Boa here would be nice.
Yes, that would be Luffy Sanji Boa board would be a very big setup. there it is. You use your observation hacky to will this boa.
Yeah, Sebi showing a lot better of a start this game than the
It does
previous
feel like
two.
we've seen a
And we
different.
find this, yeah, and we find a Mulligan for the
Oh,
beer Luffy. Sebi looking like he's in full control of this game.
question is, what is the follow-up plays for after this? Oh, we're not actually seeing the beer Luffy.
Is that really a good idea though? No beer Luffy? Maybe he does recognize that it's just gonna get Mulliganed and he maybe doesn't have a second one.
However, we are still going to be seeing like at least keeping like Boa and Sanji
I
probably.
feel like I feel like you rested Sanji here.
Sanji
If
is
you
the
Yeah,
yeah
but Luffy is a 6K, so if you want to rest a Luffy, you have to swing at the Shakuyaku, which, yeah,
yep. So we are going to see that. We are going to give it quite easily actually. But I guess that's fair because otherwise 557 would be swinging at it.
yeah, 5K in the 3 is not ideal, but we swing at it anyway.
See,
What's our thing?
here's where
7
I've been
relief.
badly programmed from testing RG Smoker. For some reason assumed it was the 4K still.
Yeah, if we were going to swing into the searcher, I feel like we maybe could have rested the Luffy instead. But I guess it does make it a little more awkward.
It does open up some interesting angles now because potentially we haven't seen it being dropped yet, but Kid Killer does get pretty nice value now
Yeah,
being dropped now.
if we see Zoro or Kid Killer because the leader is just base power, it would be so nice this turn. And we can keep one Dawn up for Conqueror's Haki,
Would be
protect it.
huge at protecting a sort of 5K base from the 7K swings.
Yeah, because you know there's at least two 7Ks coming next turn between the leader and the Sanji, right? 7K base swings.
However, we do always have to remember that he is going to be doing minus Don and then gaining an extra
Yeah,
active Don to push something else.
those offer observation, finding a Conqueror's.
Yeah. These 7K swings are just brutal against the 5K base now. We're going to mulligan it anyway, which I don't hate.
We must have a second one in hand if we're gonna do that.
Oh, another boa here. Nice.
And Luffy can swing for 6 as well. Because there's two Dawn attached to the Rayleigh. Or if you want to
Although
trash
I
the
guess
ball.
I low-key wouldn't have hated not playing the boa and swinging big.
Yeah, I feel like maybe
I guess
maybe
it
just
depends
leave
if
or rested on field.
he still has the perfume in hand, so I wouldn't have hated getting down to 0.
Yeah. I think Sebi still has a lot of time. He's still on 3 life and a massive hand.
Seeing this if he immediately played. I think I am always traumatized from random 6 cost rush Luffy lethals.
think we're just gonna hit very big into this Luffy now. 10k into the 6. I feel like if we protect this, we're in a good spot. 222.
Yeah. Um. Although I wouldn't hate it if Sebi could rebuild board next turn, but you just feel like he wants to have at least one attacker to pressure.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm Sebi and I have a Mogon in hand, I think the game is so over. We don't even have to go for game, right? Oh, but we
The
are going to
Mulgun
go
would
for it.
be huge here. Well, I do believe he's only got 2 in his list at the moment.
Yeah, he plays 2 Mogons and 2 Gatlings.
I guess we do have a Divine Departure as the third kind of pseudo KO card, but that 2 Don does feel like a huge difference when coming up against a 7k leader.
Yeah, absolutely. But with only 3 cards in hand, you gotta think is unless it's double Gum Gum Giant is on just dead on board.
It could be the Hell's Judgment again.
Yeah, 7k countered out by 2k.
This is gonna go down to the wire again.
7k again. I mean, if we have Giant, we have the Giant now, right?
Yeah. This does eliminate a lot of giant value.
Or you can 2k and hope that Sebi doesn't have a rush card in hand.
Sebi does still have a lot of Don left, so like Kid Killer plus Don does do work here.
Yeah, and I think Sebi's yet to use leader effect as well because the bow was buffed up by the Gatling.
Do have this
4. Oh, another Mogun.
got the second Mogon with we are gonna be playing safe here.
That's at least a 10k swing. Double Conquerors.
Just show Oni that he has no hope of a clapback.
12k into life.
Wait, I'll
Do
just
we
go
have a
go
Gum Gum Giant? No Giant.
no giant, no Hell's Judgment.
That was rough. Sebi
That
kind of just seeing the optimal curve this time around.
that definitely felt like a different deck we saw play there.
Yeah, there's a big difference playing that Luffy on curved than playing a turn after. Like that Luffy is just so strong. It's essentially a free 6k body.
Was an exciting best of 3 to offer us up into a bit of insight of what our OP12 is going to be.
Yeah, this Rayleigh deck is really gonna be a bit of a problem, I think.